My name is Jason. I'm Operations Manager for Ground Level Network. I coordinate all of our events and our logistics and run all of our general operations as well. Ground Level started quite organically, really. A few church leaders just started to gather to support each other and to kind of do leadership together and be on that journey together. And then that sort of began to grow and pick up a bit of momentum with others joining to the point now where we've got churches across the whole of the country. We describe ourselves as a family of churches. We're more about kind of relationship, family, support and care, primarily for church leaders, but we do also offer things for different kind of teams within the church. So primarily we run a lot of events, hence why we're here. This is our annual Leaders Conference here at the Hayes. We've got three things that we say are our mission, and that's creating great leaders, building healthy churches, and equipping God's people. And we believe that obviously through church leaders being healthy and by creating great churches, that in turn is equipping God's people. So we see as we invest in the leaders to build healthy churches, that in turn is blessing God's people. One of the big things that we hear every year is the value of relationship that they build and strengthen every year that they come. To have that unique time away in the year where you can just connect with people, chat, discuss different issues and be equipped and filled up to go back to your own context. I think we've seen, certainly in the last few years, a few leaders that have been a bit more newer to the network kind of really plug in and invest. And as a result of that, they've seen huge kind of benefit for both them and their teams. From going from a place of feeling quite isolated, quite unsupported, and like they're kind of just trying to figure things out on their own, to be more in a position where they feel like they've got a group of people around them, championing them, someone on the end of the phone if they ever need help or advice with something. And I think those have been the great stories that we've seen over the last couple of years, is particularly kind of on the back of the pandemic, a lot of church leaders feeling quite isolated and almost lonely, to actually then be able to come back together again and kind of build on that relational empowering and strength. It's been great. This is one of our big events of the year. We're quite contemporary, so we go for a full band setup. The aesthetic in the room is quite important to us. So when we've used the Derbyshire Hall, we've always put in extra staging, backdrop, lighting, just to make the room feel really good and engaging. Just in terms of practicalities, I think sometimes you don't value enough the impact that the setup has on the attendees, but actually getting that right really does create a good atmosphere for people to engage in the content. The Hayes is probably really the only place that we find that can kind of accommodate our numbers for kind of residential and catering all on one site. So we find that for that reason it works really, really well for us.